Hi, my loves. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being with me today. I want to talk a little bit about the energies for January and do a short collective reading before I start working on all of the signs readings for next month. I just put out all the signs for January. I hope you've had a chance to watch them. If you have, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and drop me a comment if you can. It'll really help me to grow the channel. We just had an incredibly beautiful full moon in Cancer. I'm sure you guys all felt it. It was quite emotional. I think there was a lot that came up to the surface, and then experiencing at the same time a little bit of a polarity of the resistance that's coming from, the more earthy Capricorn season that wants us to line things up and focus on getting certain things done. So there's just a little bit of that tension going on. But we're in this together, right? And we're going to talk through some of this stuff. And one of the main things that came to me today, we are collectively going through a disillusionment of illusions, right? Yes, that's powerful. It's a big statement, right? It's like the planet, our lives, like everything is changing and evolving, and at the same time, like we're changing and we're evolving and we're trying to catch up to what's happened on the outside and the changes that are happening on the outside. We're trying to find ourselves within that, right? But there's a constant light that's being projected from underneath all of these things that seem so real and so important and so tragic and so exciting. But there's this like constant light, and it's love. It's the divine love. It's that connection to your heart. It's our humanness, right? That is always there, no matter what the planets look like, no matter what the cosmic weather looks like, no matter how much fear is being perpetuated through, transitions and things that are coming, things that are ending, things that are starting. At the end of the day, we are human, and we need to take things one day at a time and see how we feel in that energy, right? And move from that place of consciousness, of intuition, of grace, right? And one of the main visions that I had was like spokes in a wheel. And, I've been talking about this since November, that, this is the time that we're being called to our soul gifts, right? And the spokes in the wheel really made me realize that what's happening is we're being called to our gifts so that together and equally we can create the environment and the life that's really needed right now. And every single person has such unique gifts and equally important that are going to make this wheel turn, right? And so it's really important for us to do the things that bring us the most joy. That's going to be the higher vibration things, right? The things that make us happy, the things that make your heart warm, the things that make your spirit thrive, that make you want to dance, that make you smile, that make you shine, that make you that beautiful expression of what it is to be human, right? So we're actually being aligned to that path right now. And of course, that's going to mean like shedding a lot of things. And that's the part that's incredibly uncomfortable. Now, there may be things in the external world that we're shedding that have ended, right? But all of that is just a reflection of our internal state. If something ended, it's because we're not aligned with that frequency anymore and we're being put on a different path, right? So there's a need to really surrender and to just be in that grace of being loved, and know that like we're always protected. And there's a lot of adversity right now, And that's something I really wanted to talk about. Like, there's a need to really forgive ourselves for things that we've done that we feel are wrong, and we're seeing it now. But in that process of forgiving ourselves, when we think about like the state that we were in when we did something that maybe we're not so happy about, we're not so proud of, it's most of the time more than likely coming out of pain, right? Like you were struggling, you were exhausted, you were hurt. And the beauty of seeing that, the beauty of getting to that point and saying, well, that wasn't my intention to hurt this person. To apply that same understanding to things that are done to you, that's going to give you the freedom that you're looking for. They didn't wrong you. They operated out of a vibration of pain, and take solace in understanding what that means. And that will allow you to take your freedom back and to know that none of those things are about you, right? So there's a lot of this purging that's happening in January, and we are going to get to a point of understanding that pain, loneliness, discomfort, all the things that come with these big life transitions are calling. And when we shift that perspective and understand that, we can step up to the challenge. We can become malleable, right? Like we can surrender to the energy that's at play and understand that we're being strengthened and molded in a certain way for what's coming, what's needed, how we're going to need to be in this next phase, right? So, okay, I really wanted to say that. I've had a lot of distractions in making this video, and it's just a testament for me that when you want to talk about truth and love and light, sometimes it's messy and sometimes there's distractions, and it's really important to just keep that focus and keep going. Acknowledge the distraction, acknowledge the thoughts, but then keep moving, and know that you're always guided and you're always protected. Spirit, give me a card for the collective for January. Spirit, give me another card for the collective for January. Yep. Yep. And yep. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Incredible. This is exactly what we've been talking about. So we have the, oh, beautiful. Okay, I didn't even see that card. It was hiding. So we have the Page of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Death card. So we're being put on a new path that we've discussed, right? And we're being called to spend time alone, gathering the strength, sitting in the dark, turning the lamp on and seeing what's in front of us, and feeding and nurturing our soul, whatever that means for you. We are rebirthing, absolutely. There's been endings for all of us in some way. And for some of us, it's actually endings of our own way of thinking and being, right? The concepts we have. It doesn't have to be, it can be something a little bit more spiritual or mental. It doesn't have to necessarily be a relationship or a job. I know in a lot of the signs readings that I did, very specific tarot moments came out for some of you. And, that again is like an external manifestation of the rebirthing within. But this is talking more just about that general energy of like ending the way that we go about things and having this like new perspective of how we move forward. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is why we are in delay, right? Hangman, because we are needing to understand the bigger picture, that the universe is moving things in our favor, and learning to trust that and to be in gratitude of that is what's going to not only forge the path ahead, but it's also going to allow us to transform, right? Like be malleable, right? Like how metal workers end up creating this incredible piece out of metal, or there's just so many like different elements that are used in reworking and turning something into something else, right? And that's what's needed from us. And yes, some of us feel a little burned by it, right? But like the more we surrender and understand that this is about a new path, and it's not just about a soul path. This is also about building what we want materially, right? So we're getting like the best of both worlds, and that is really beautiful. And there's a real need to understand that the more we try to control things, the harder it's going to be, the harder it's going to feel, the more painful it's going to be. So it's like less resistance, right? Just let things unfold in their own timing and trust that. Okay. Magician, a lot of major arcanas. This is us becoming experts. This is us taking the time to do that course, to enhance that skill, to learn the things that we know we need to learn to be able to do whatever it is that we want, right? Whatever it is that we want to create, what we want to be, what direction we want our career to head in, all of that. It's about understanding that we're going to have to put in the work once we decide what that is, and taking the time to really become the expert, but also knowing that you are going to do it. Like you will be successful at it, right? This isn't like, you're not working hard and building and like not seeing results. Like this is really creating, right? And what is this process bringing us? What is the outcome of all of this? King of Cups. This is such a beautiful card. This is everything that we've asked for. This is emotional fulfillment. This is doing things that nurture us in the heart, in the soul. This is emotional maturity. This is us getting to becoming authorities on what it is to be a feeling machine, right? As a human being, it's like sitting in that expert mode of, I know what makes me feel good. I know what's real and what's not. And I know that I'm here to live my best possible life. And water. I talked about this in some of the signs readings. Water is a theme right now, and it's about bringing that water energy into our jobs, into what we do. It's the feminine, right? It's combining our ability to create with the feeling behind it, and making sure that there's feeling behind everything that we do. Okay, that's what we're doing. Eight of Pentacles reversed. This is where we're coming from. Okay, we're coming from having worked really hard to build things and not being recognized and not being appreciated for what we built, and most importantly, us not being fulfilled by what we built, right? So like it's on either side. Like we're not happy, people are not happy, like so much resistance, we're not pushing through, right? This is where we're coming from. We're coming from the challenges of our belief systems. This is what we're doing right now. We're looking in the mirror and we're seeing everything that has gotten in the way of us doing what we want to do. That's what we're looking at right now. And it's so uncomfortable. And that's what we're going through. But it's a beautiful purging. That's why it's a water theme. It's going to clear it up. It's going to heal it. And it's going to allow us to step into this beautiful new path. Okay? So that's what's happening for all of us, obviously in different ways. If you want to head over to some of the other videos that I've made for each of the signs, you'll get more specifics on your particular direction, what it is that you're particularly overcoming, what to look out for, what energies are underneath this, what it is that you're transmuting, and some tips on what you can do to kind of move through this energy. So I'm going to pull a card from my Making Magic deck, since there is so much creation energy in with the Magician and the King of Cups. Spirit, give me a card for the collective. What's needed for January? Spirit. Heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. Philosopher's Stone. This is such a beautiful card. Powerful manifestation of wishes and goals by harnessing universal energy, right? Tapping into that life force, that life pulse that goes through everything that we're all a part of. Tapping into that every day is what we're learning how to do. That's how we become the King of Cups. Triple spiral. Listening to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons, right? We're looking in that mirror. We're seeing things. We're forgiving ourselves. We're forgiving others. And our lack mentality and our limitations are the only things getting in the way of us going after what we want and allowing the opinions of others to get in the way. And we're releasing all of that this month. So thank you so much for joining me. I love you so much.